For this task, I decided to explore the ways in which other teachers are integrating technology into their English classrooms. I was tasked with finding 3 resources. Firstly, a web page, which is a wiki, website or blog. Secondly, a scholarly journal article or conference paper. And finally, an audio podcast or video file. In this video, I will provide an overview or outline of each of the 3 resources that I found, identify the technologies used in each, and advantages and disadvantages of each, and how teachers can use these resources in their own classrooms. The first resource that I found, which you can see here, is a wiki titled Book Trailers for Readers. The second resource is a YouTube video called Digital Storytelling in the Elementary Classroom, which was uploaded by YouTube account Project Direct 2010 in the year 2011. The final resource that I found is an academic article written by the Sweetland Center for Writing at the University of Michigan, which was not dated. However, it was titled Using Blogs in the Classroom. My first resource is a wiki authored by teacher Michelle Harklerode that explains how to use a range of editing software such as Photo Story 3, Windows Live Movie Maker, and Adobe Premiere to create book trailers for readers. The wiki includes many elements that will be of use for teachers, such as a presentation on how to make a book trailer, assorted downloadable templates to be used in the classroom by other teachers, examples of her students' work and contributions by students from other schools, and video tutorials on various editing programs. Advantages to using Photo Story 3 include step-by-step instructions throughout the program. Due to its simplicity, it would also be easy to create a photo story in the span of one lesson. Disadvantages to the use of Photo Story 3 include having to have an existing catalogue of music available to students, and secondly, not having the function to record and add voiceover to presentations. Photo Story 3 is purposefully quite simple, with its main function being to create slideshows with pictures and text. Therefore, it would be useful for younger students. My second resource is a video created by a teacher at a US primary school about the process her students took in creating digital storybooks using GarageBand. It begins by explaining the process that the students took from writing their stories, converting their narratives to script, recording their narration, and adding pictures and sounds to their story. The students then reflect on the parts of the program, the process that they found challenging and the parts that they enjoyed. Advantages to the use of this software include, once students are familiar with the software layout and function, it's extremely easy to use, especially students that are already used to the layout of Mac systems. Secondly, recording voice and adding photos and sounds is done at the click of a button and through the device of your choosing. Finally, editing is simple, with all elements such as photos, audio, and voice recordings and transitions being visible on a visual storyline of sorts, on which each element is represented, and students can drag, drop, and replace and delete items as they choose. Disadvantages include students needing to familiarise themselves with the software before use, not being able to guarantee student access at home, and photos and music needing to be uploaded into iTunes and iPhoto to be able to use them. My third resource is this article published by the Sweetland Center for Writing at the University of Michigan. Unfortunately, the author and publication date are not known. This article outlines the positive repercussions of employing blogging as a tool in teaching and learning, possible uses for teachers and students, an overview of the WordPress tool, and examples of different types of blogs. There are several advantages and disadvantages to using WordPress when creating blogs in the classroom. Firstly, it's completely free, which is especially useful in the case of schools with limited budgets. There is a huge range of free templates available to users, and it's also very simple to set up and edit all elements of the website. As you can see to the right here, This is as simple as it gets to write a blog in WordPress. Disadvantages would also include connection with social media and location tagging being so easy, especially in this day and age of needing to be extremely safe when on the internet. Editing software, GarageBand, and blogging tools all have the capacity to have both positive and negative implications in the classroom. Teachers must ensure that the application itself doesn't become the focus of the lesson, but a medium by which students can develop a greater understanding of the subject being taught and communicate their understanding clearly. As these information technologies are either on the internet or have easy links to the internet, teachers must ensure that students understand the importance of internet safety, netiquette, and copyright rules. We as teachers are always encouraged to create new and improved ways in which to make learning relatable and fun for our students. This is easily achieved through the use of technology. As students are constantly in touch with technologies such as smartphones, tablets, computers, the internet, videos, and video games, it makes sense to incorporate these platforms when teaching and learning in the classroom to make learning experiences more authentic. Recommendations that I would include listening to your students. As technology is a part of their everyday lives and they are actively seeking out new technologies to play with or use, they're a useful source of information about new tools. Secondly, keep up to date and current on new technologies. Do your research and find out what other teachers are using in their classrooms. Sites such as TeacherTube are an excellent source of information in this regard. Use software or programs before you ask your students to use it. Familiarise yourself with all elements that it offers so that you and your students can make the most out of it. Finally, incorporate it in as many ways as you can. Your students have technology as a huge part of their day-to-day lives and love using it, so why should it be any different in the classroom? Listed here are my references, which are the sources of each of my 3 resources. In addition, the pictures used in this presentation are simply screenshots of the resources themselves and shots taken from my personal GarageBand application and WordPress editor. Thank you for listening.